This video is sponsored by Cake Wallet, the easiest open source wallet to store Bitcoin, Monero, and Litecoin securely on mobile and desktop devices. When buying, selling, and exchanging crypto or trading for gift cards, Cake Wallet ensures privacy and security, giving you the keys to your coins. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Daily Zest. Hope everyone is doing so well this morning. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but we are rebooted and we are rezested and we are back. So thank you guys for returning. And if you guys are here just arriving this morning, make sure you guys head over to that poll, you smash these likes, subscribe, share the stream out with friends so more people know what's going on with Bitcoin, crypto, the banks, adoption, every single thing. I got you covered. Don't worry. Don't worry. Make sure you guys check out our lovely sponsors, Cake Wallet and Cipher. Use the links in the live chat, also in the description. Make sure you use code missteencrypto or code Zesty for 20% off at checkout for Cipher. Now, my friends, it is a beautiful time to be in crypto. It is a beautiful time to be here. Make sure you also keep note of our goal of 100 likes and 100 live viewers. I see we are climbing. We are climbing up those numbers. Yeah, climbing. Woo, woo. Let's get after it. Gary Gensler, listen, man, I know you wanted to give me a Wells notice, and once I started sheeshing on Gary is when my stream rugged.
I still heart you.
Aw, the other miner, thank you so much. Maybe there's love for you, too. Nice to see you. Oval Boars here. Randy, Mike Volmer. Nice to see you. Dave Digital, Crypto Crag, Leroy, Bad Boy, Jim DB, everybody. Automatic Beats. Nice to see everyone. Bulldog, my girl Alexandra G, Lord Michael McDade. Said, Miss Randy, I need this instrumental. Yeah, did you guys like my new intro? That maybe some of you guys heard it twice now. That 1 minute intro, like that is so vibey. It's not even funny. I sit there and I'm like, oh, this hits. Ooh. Ooh, it's like a really nice vibe. ENF, it's nice to see you. Of course, Gary Gensler is in the chat. It's nice to see you guys as well. The Gary Gensler gang. I wonder if Harry Gensler is going to show up today. Guys in the chat, second time is always better. Yeah. Hi, Simo, Joe Harvey, David Brumblebee. It's nice to see you guys. All right. Cool. Lit. Guys, I see we have over 40 people here. We're almost at 50 people and we only have 17 likes. That is madness to me. So please make sure you smash these likes. Share the stream out with friends. Good vibes only. Julian said, much love from Argentina. Wow. Nice to see you from NYC. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you joining the stream. Wow. I love international fam. We are a global family and that's what makes us so special. Hi, Fweddy. Nice to see you. Dixon, it's nice to see you as well. Lord Michael said, it's a vibe, LOL, hitting your 30th next month. Wow. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday. All right. We're killing the game out here, guys. Let's get ready. Let's go and hop into the stream. Hi, Matt Bradley. Welcome. If I didn't say hi to you, then please say in the chat and yell at me and say, Randy, why didn't you say hi to me? You're so mean. Just let me know. Whaley, nice to see you from Queens. You're not that far from me, man. Nice to see you. Nice to see some New York fam. Simo said, greetings from Germany. Oh, Germany, nice to see you guys. You guys could comment all the countries you guys are in right now because we have so many people from like all these different parts in the world. Yesterday, actually, it's funny that we're talking about international fam. I was looking at my YouTube stuff and like behind the scenes, and I found this part where it says where a lot of people are listening in terms of cities, and the cities that were coming up are stuff like I never even heard of. And I thought that was amazing because even places I don't know of, people like, you know, there's people everywhere watching different types of creators, even myself. So I really think this is so cool that you guys, again, are from everywhere. We're all from everywhere, different socioeconomic statuses. It doesn't matter where we came from, what we look like. We're all in the same revolution. We all are able to take part in crypto. Very special. YC, nice to see you from Canada. Nice, nice. From up north. It's nice to see ya. Hashir said, hello from Dubai. Great work. I appreciate that, Hashir from Dubai. One day I will go to Dubai and ride a camel in the desert. Taco Berry, hola to you. One of my besties out here. Gary Gensler, for every no hi, a TP is thrown. Yeah, I'm ignoring Emma today. I'm just kidding. Bright Kaz, nice to see you. Pittsburgh in the house. Nice, Pittsburgh. Welcome, welcome. Freddie, I said hi to you twice. Yes, I did. I said hi to you a lot today. I appreciate you joining me. Listen, friends, we're going to get into the zest. We're going to get into the show. Please make sure you smash these likes, share the stream out with friends. Let's get 100 likes and 100 live viewers. Leroy talking about Bitcoin dominance. Yes, I could actually look at the Bitcoin dominance chart today. Red Pots from the Netherlands. Love that. Hello, Red Pots. Sharam, nice to see you as well. I'm welcome in Germany. Thanks, Simo. Christopher is from California. Please get me some In and Out and a t-shirt. I appreciate that. A number one double, no tomato with well done fries, and maybe a milkshake if I'm really feeling zesty at the moment. But thank you. Matthew K, nice to see you. Dixon is from Phoenix. That's awesome. Taco Berry's just throwing out those chicken wings out there. Taco Berry likes chicken nuggies, if you guys couldn't tell. Crypto Crag, nice to see you. The other miner says I hate him. You know, I don't hate you. You're just the other miner now. That's it. That's just what you are, the other miner. Alvio said, if you don't smash the like, you're a security. I agree. Then you're getting a Wells notice. Christopher Hanna, thanks. All right. Where's Jimmy? I wonder where Jimmy is too. I mean, we need Uncle Jimmy in the stream. All right. But he works, you know. He's a busy man. He's a busy man, Jimmy. Let's get into the stream. I want to talk about the numbers, the charts. 3 Diglets. Why are you scared? 3 Diglets. Don't be scared. Here's a hug for 3 Diglets. User 76, like hello from Indiana. Mr. Lucky, nice to see you. All right. Welcome to the stream. All right. Dope. Gary, I like it. Gary Gensler more than the other miner. I don't know. You know what? Maybe. I can't. Gonzo, good morning to you, my friend. It's nice to see you. All right. We have our bubbles. We're looking at the past week in crypto here, and you can see Pepe of 73%. Listen, friends, we have some things that are popping off. BSV is even popping off. That just says a lot right there, that these are random things that are really going off. Doge is up 5.5%, it says here. Zcash is up. Flow is really interesting. I kind of, you know, they have some interesting things going on at Flow. I think they could do like some pretty good things for adoption down the line. I mean, they already did with Top Shot and everything like that, so... Gala up 10%. I know you guys are Gala heads. I know Jimmy loves his Gala. Let's look at the past day. Oh gosh, you look at the week, you're like, yay, green, woo! And then you look at the past day and you're like, oh, yikes. What are our biggest gainer here is FTT, which, oh gosh. XRD, as Ace Database was talking about, is on a tear. It's up 7.5%. XLM is up 5% about. All right. I see, you know, the past day, we're not looking too hot. But Bitcoin is actually looking pretty cute to me. I don't know. How do you think Bitcoin looks? In the chat, please write if she's cute. Write how she looks today. How does Bitcoin look today? Is she cute? Is she simple? Is she just over the top for you? Or is she just underwhelming? Let me know. Hammer. Oh no, not FTT. I feel you. I feel you, dude. I feel you. All right, let's talk about the daily chart here on the market ciphers. Now, we do have money flow. As you can see, we had a dip in money flow. It was like a V shape almost. We had a nice rebound forming here. I was like, oh sheesh, like maybe we could go over the zero line here. Unfortunately, the buyers didn't come in. The bulls were, as Fred was saying, mildly zesty. They weren't fully zesting out. So then now we thought we were going through the zero line, but now we came back down. In terms of money flow, I do hope we could curve back up. That would look pretty nice to me. But man, I don't know. I feel in the VWAP, you know, heading below the zero line, it wasn't a confident pull below, which makes me feel better. Again, like if it was a confident rip down, then that's usually when you see a dip. But we have like a little slide, like a little this kind of motion. Do you guys see this kind of motion? Like a motion in the ocean? It's kind of how it was to me. Momentum is still shifted to the other side. Right now, Bitcoin's up 1.5% about. So that's good, especially if the VWAP was confidently below the zero line. It's usually when you see a little bit of a dip. But we are up 1.5%. We're currently at $30,722. I put in the title today. I was looking. I was like, can Bitcoin break out? Are we about to break out? And I don't know, friends. I need your opinions. Right now, we're actually past our high daily candle close from a few days ago. Let's take a gander at that. So we did have a high close here the other day of around 30,694. No, it was like 30,700. Now, we dipped for 3 days, and now we're trying to go back up, kind of engulfing right here. That is beautiful. And we haven't seen oh my gosh, guys, we're breaking out. 30.8. Wow, 30,857. Oh, what's happening? What is happening? Guys, are we breaking out to 31K right now? What? Because the last time we saw these levels, we had a wick high the other day. We didn't close there, so it doesn't really count to me. We had a wick high here in mid-April. Doesn't really count to me. The last time we really saw this price action, my friends, let's re-freaking wind. Let's rewind. The last time we saw this price action or these levels was June of last year. May/June of last year. Literally the last day of May. This is beautiful to me. This is beautiful. We literally made up for lost time, and all the people that, again, DCA'd during this time, you are magical beings. You are magical beings. You are doing something good. Just buying all of these dips. Now, okay, all right. Am I getting ahead of myself? I don't know. What I am saying is that it's possible that we could have a nice run up. The next level I'm looking for, I was looking for 30,800, and then because that was kind of some resistance I saw here. But now that's what am I looking for here, guys? What is our next level? Because we're literally at 30,898. So we are like tapping this 31K range. We could tap 31K right now. I don't know. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. The next level I'm really looking for is 31.8. 31.8. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to close above, if possible, one day soon. 31.8. Woo! That would be so awesome. Because even if you look back at 31.8, right, you could see that it was basically, we tested that level, we dipped below that level, we tried to test it, then we failed epically, and then we went into our little nap time here. And previously it was kind of support because Bitcoin hit that level, it bounced back up. Now, if we could make this resistance into support like we did in the past, now we're talking some smack. Now we are talking some smack. I'm not lying to you guys, not lying. Right now we're at 30,931. I'm exposed for my basic trading view. Guys, are we running up to 31K right now? If you guys think we're going to hit 31K right now, put a 1. If you think we're going to reject 31K, put a 2. Put a 2. Put a 2. 31K, put a 1. Failing, put a 2. You can see we have some bullish volume coming in, some support, buyers defending this push. Oh, this is getting so spicy. This is getting so spicy. I need to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Of course, the other miner puts 3. Gonna have to put you on timeout, the other miner. Literally gonna have to put you in timeout. 3 Diglett says to pamp it. I agree. 30,972, guys. Answer the question. Are we going to 31K? Put a 1. If you don't think we're going to 31K, put a 2. Guys, we are $25 away. $22 away. $21 away. 31K. Let's go. We're pumping on stream. Guys, oh my gosh. Bitcoin pumping. Oh my gosh, we almost hit 31K just now. Yeah, we just did. Okay, but we almost hit 31. Yes, we did hit 31K. And then oh gosh, I thought we were going to 31.1. I thought we were going to 31.1. This is very exciting, guys. This is exciting. The minute chart is pamping out here. Freaking pamping. This is amazing. Pamp it, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Yes, let's go. Crypto Cowboy. We're going to go to pop to 32K today. Do you think so? I mean, listen, I've been feeling 32K. Mentioned it yesterday in the poll, I think, it's in the poll today. 55% of you guys on YouTube say we're going to hit 32K today. We're at 31 right now. And it seems like Bitcoin, it's hitting 31, but maybe doesn't want to stay there. I don't know. Oh, wow. We're watching the minute chart like crazy degens. I don't know. It's like I don't want to move on to anything else. I don't even want to look at anything else but this chart right now. That's how you know I'm like peak crypto nerd. Is like I can't leave the chart right now. Three diglets.
We're going to $50,000 immediately.
Listen, bro. Three diglets. I'm counting on you. You say we're going to 50K immediately. I trust you. I trust you. Guys, we have like 73 people here. Let's get 100 likes and 100 live viewers, pretty please. Listen, Emma, you love my singing. Don't even lie. She can't even lie. I literally sang to Emma yesterday. She was napping. I woke her up. I was like, wake up, Emma. She loved it. Absolutely loved it. All right. So it seems like we're retracing. We're hitting 31K. It doesn't really enjoy it. So you know what? Even though it's only been 1 minute, I'm a little impatient. Gen Z here, instant gratification. We're gonna move on to Ethereum. We're gonna talk about Ethereum for 5 seconds before Bitcoin probably pamps out of its mind, and we're just gonna have to stare at the chart for 20 hours. Let's talk about Ethereum. Ethereum, see, as Bitcoin's pumping, it kind of like usually Ethereum kind of goes with it. Mel, you're calling for 37K. That's interesting. Now, my friends, I'm looking at ETH and I'm like, what's going on here? We're up 1.8%. We got 1893. Why are we below $1,900 Ethereum? I don't get it. You know what? Maybe it's saying, I don't care that Bitcoin's up 2.2%. I'm Ethereum and I'm just going to do what I want, which, all right, maybe it's a little weaker, but not really, which is making me even more confused because if you look at Bitcoin's daily market cipher, you're seeing a dip in money flow. But if you're looking at the daily on Ethereum, you're seeing a nice curvature. We like nice curvatures of money flow going into the red and coming right back into the green, but it does seem that we're inching towards that zero line in terms of money flow. VWAP popping slightly below the zero line. If this is a confident move, maybe we could see a little dip in ETH, but I don't want that. Now, we were sideways trading between 1815 and 1911, literally for so long. April 4th broke below it on Friday, June 9th. Boopity boop. We had a nice V shape coming back up. We like V shapes. We like confident. However, we hit this point where 1911, that point I just kept pointing out to y'all, 1911, that's where it matters. And as you guys can see, in the past, we came up to 1911. We rejected, went back up. We went past it, rejected, came back down, all of these things. Now we hit right here, the past, 3, 4, 5 days, we just hit this level with the wick and couldn't even close above it. Yesterday, we literally hit it with the wick. Went boop. Couldn't go past it. That is our goal. 1911. I want it. I need to see it. It will make me happy. It will make my heart flutter. Bitcoin is running. It actually retraced. We're at 30.8 now. We were just at 31K. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, Bitcoin. Everyone, please cheer for Bitcoin in the chat. Like, give her some inspiration, give her some motivation. Bitcoin loves to pump on this stream. Whenever we go live, Bitcoin always makes a move. I think it's our zest just really infiltrating the Bitcoin. Like, we're looking at the chart. Bitcoin feels our zest. So as you guys are smashing these, like sharing the stream out with friends, Bitcoin will appreciate you too. We really need these buyers to come in and defend it. I need to see more volume here. Come on, guys. Let's go back to 31K. What are we doing? Let's take a gander at Litecoin. Litecoin is always zesty. We're fans of Litecoin out here. Sound money, A, B, and C. Now, kind of the same formation a little bit where we had, a nice run up, 3 candles downwards for Litecoin. Right now we're at $86.73. We're up 1.77%. Currently ahead of the market a little bit. Hopefully we could run back up to $91 Litecoin. We almost saw that yesterday, but not quite. We hit like $90.44.
Litecoin is overrated.
You know what? The other miners overrated. You're overrated. For those of y'all that are listening on the replay or even in the chat now, we know the other miner. He doesn't really mean that. He loves it. He's a miner. Of all people, he would know how zesty it is because you can merge mine Litecoin, get Doge, mine Doge, get Litecoin as a reward. Isn't that so fine and freaking dandy? Thank you for your super chat, Mike. I mean, other miner. Not acknowledging. Oops. As you can see with Litecoin, we had a little run up. It was like getting a little shaky, but then we had a nice pop. I want to go back to $91 Litecoin. That's the goal. That's the goal. We've just been sideways trading here for so long, guys. Come on. People slept on Litecoin still, but we are double what we were last year. Last year, June of last year, we were at $40 Litecoin. Now we're at $88 Litecoin, so you can't be like that mad.
Here's to $31,000 SU prize.
Yay, Boo Man. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Cheers to 31K to Boo Man. I'm a fan of you, man. Thank you, Boo Man. Appreciate it. Love when people tip me through there. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right. Again, Litecoin's in the green. I'm looking for a $90 Litecoin. We can even look at market Cipher, where it kind of looks a little similar to Bitcoin. In terms of money flow, slightly. We had like that nice curve coming up, a little tad of green. It kind of looks more like Ethereum than Bitcoin. We even have a little slight dip in money flow here. The VWAP is still above the zero line, and if it pops up, then I would enjoy that. If it pops up, I'd be like, ooh, let's go, Litecoin. Momentum is still here. So I'm interested to see what happens next. Litecoin is running up a little bit, $88.83. Is this our run to $90? Is this our run to $90 Litecoin? It's up 1.9%. Let's moon. Let's moon, let's moon, let's moon. See, it's up 1.9%, then Bitcoin follows it. Whenever Litecoin starts to pump, then that's when like Bitcoin kind of goes, guys, 30.8, let's go back to 31K. What are we doing? Doge is actually making some moves too, where I thought we maybe could see a cup and handle yesterday. I was kind of just like, a lot of people were speculating in the chat. I was speculating. I was like, is this possibly a cup and handle? I don't know. I'm learning the charts. I'm trying to get there, my friends. I actually did see a cup and handle play out perfectly on another chart that I was looking at, but I don't want to shout out like what I was looking at because it was like some weird thing. But I look at like DEX tools and things like that sometimes to learn about the charts and like see what other coins are doing on the charts. It does actually help. Like the smaller market caps, you kind of just see like what goes on. Anyway, so hopefully this was a cup and handle. We go woo, woo, boom. And we have a nice time. We're up 1.1% for Doge at 6.5 cents. I'm looking for 7-cent Doge, man. That would be super zesty. Super zesty. And go back into this range. A bing, bada bing, bada boom. Do you guys like know that song with Pitbull? Bada bing, bada boom, Mr. Worldwide as I step in the room. It's been stuck in my head since last night. BT Crypto. You saw a chart on ETH that showed staked ETH increased. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I almost forgot for my friend Bitcoin dominance chart. Let's look at Bitcoin BTC.D. There we go. Bitcoin dominance. We are over 51% Bitcoin dominance, over 52% in Bitcoin dominance. Usually people are like, oh my gosh, Bitcoin dominance over 50%. It's altcoin season. It's bull round season. Let's moon. So I don't know. I'm going to see how this plays out. 51, almost 52% Bitcoin dominance. Beautiful. The other miner, no deal. No deal. I don't accept your deals. I'm not acknowledging your deals. No. And no. Matt Bradley said 30.2 next. Oh, no. So you think we ran up to 31K this morning only to go down to 30.2? You really think so, my friend? Because that's around where we closed yesterday. This is interesting. Julian said, love your energy. Let's break the resistance. Yeah, let's break the resistance, man. Listen, I'm here for the zest. I'm here for news, and I'm here for love, peace, and prosperity of all individuals. I have a lot of news for you guys, so I'm not going to like waste anybody's time. I want to get right into it. But I keep hearing Gary Gensler's voice in my head. It's kind of weird. Like, do you just wake up and like, or you're sitting at the table and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't stop hearing Gary Gensler. It's like, I always hear Gary Gensler's voice in my head. Right, Crypto Phase? Right, Crypto Phase?
Now in the U.S. and in many other jurisdictions,
oh my God, it's Gary.
Of the market are not ICOs or not what would be called securities. Even in the U.S., Canada, and Taiwan, the three jurisdictions that follow something similar to the Howey test that we've talked about, 3/4 of the market is non-securities. It's just a commodity, a cash crypto. So you'll hear debates about initial coin offerings and what's a security and what's not a security. Relevant and important debate. But for 3/4 of the market, it's not particularly relevant as a legal matter.
Oh, wow. I just keep hearing that 3/4 of the crypto cash commodities, not securities, not securities. But this one thing just keeps like, it's just in my head and it just can't leave because Gary Gensler just really took things personal. And I just can't. Gary, I just keep hearing this one thing in my head. Ow!
Hucksters, fraudsters, scam artists, Ponzi schemes, the public being left in line at the bankruptcy courts. We've seen this story before.
Emotional. It makes me emotional. Why would he say that about us, man? Well, it seems like Gary Gensler isn't the only person that is saying that people are suffering from Bitcoin. Oh gosh, please listen to this clip from CNBC yesterday. This is the author of The Black Swan. This is his Twitter profile, if you guys were wondering. Nassim Nicholas Taleb, he's a big into markets. Again, he was the author of The Black Swan. I need you guys to take a look at what he said about Bitcoin yesterday on CNBC. This is actually laughable. Okay. I want to make sure this works. There we go. Listen to the FUD. If you've never seen FUD, then this is a perfect example of it.
I think it was 9 or 10. Anyway, so here we are now, call it 13, 14 years in.
Yes.
This is a very long
but think about it.
speculation if this is that,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I'm not.
But let's look at the crypto. Is it being used for real transactions? No. It is a cult.
In parts of the world, it is the same. The unbanked or people in very high, where they make money and inflation is 30 or 40%, and they have a cell phone and they're able to own something that doesn't depreciate immediately.
Well, it did exactly the opposite of its mission as inflation hedge because it collapsed when inflation
collapsed to 30,000. But people were negative at $10.
But you can look at any stocks that reached $100 has started at $1 or $2. So
and a lot of those
when
collapsed.
you look at things, you don't look at the past. You look at the drawdown you can experience if you own it when it's already mature. So the one, it's not an inflation hedge. Two, the thing is, it may be good for transaction, for petty transaction, small amount of money, but it's not good for real money laundering because it's very traceable. And three, it is pretty much the first time in the history of the world we have had a cult, coupled with a financial interest.
What do you make of BlackRock now trying to pursue with an ETF? You have Citadel. You have a number of Wall Street players who, by the way, for a very long time actually were very negative, skeptical, just like you.
Yes. I started positive on Bitcoin because I was disappointed with the Federal Reserve policy. But then I realized that you're going from Caribbean to Scylla. In other words, from something bad to something vastly worse. At least with Federal Reserve, we have transparency. We know what's going on. We can influence it. There's a system. But with crypto, tend to concentrate among big players, and it is how can I explain it? It's distracting, and effectively, what has happened thanks to crypto is we're going to have FedNow rolling out next month. We're going to have the central banks are focusing on making transaction both easier and faster for individuals.
There you have it. Man, this is... okay, I don't even know how to start there. So within this clip, he said, is Bitcoin being used for real-world transactions? He said the answer was no. What about El Salvador, a whole country where Bitcoin is legal tender? He said, oh, Bitcoin is good for smaller petty transactions, but not good for real money laundering. Who is trying to money launder here? And he said the Federal Reserve is transparent, and we know what's going on. With Bitcoin, we don't. I think he actually got the two confused. How do we have any clarity with the Federal Reserve? We don't know anything about any Federal Reserve, even the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. We went over it. They are part of the FedNow program. The same person who was involved with the FedNow program, Ken Montgomery, is also involved with the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and their CBDC project that they completed, the full infrastructure, everything. So we have no transparency in what's going on in the Federal Reserve and what they're working on, because otherwise they would tell us every single day, yeah, we've been working on CBDCs. This is when it's rolling out. We don't get any clarity. However, Bitcoin is truth. Bitcoin is freedom. You look at Bitcoin, you look at every single transaction that's ever been done because it's public on the blockchain. So what is transparent and what's not? At the end of the day, this is somebody that is speaking to maybe people that don't know what's going on with Bitcoin. They don't know what Bitcoin is, and this is trying to scare them or deter them from getting into the space. This is the perfect example, like we were talking about yesterday, of doing your own research and forming your own opinions. If you didn't know about Bitcoin at all and you just watched that interview, maybe you would be a little thrown off. One, because it doesn't seem like he's that confident in what he's saying. And two, the anchors are defending Bitcoin. And this is unlikely to happen on that channel per se. They don't really defend Bitcoin that much. I know Joe Kernan is like really cool, and he made some really good points there where he's saying, oh, it's not an inflation hedge. Yet there are people in other countries that have 90+% inflation, or the inflation's so bad that if they get paid on Friday, they have to spend their money by Monday, or else their money's not going to be worth anything. But with Bitcoin, maybe if it has a little volatility, it still holds its value, and it's something that they own, which is something that most people that aren't accredited investors, that don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank account, are excluded from. Do your own research. If you understand Bitcoin, if you did your own research on Bitcoin, you would understand that everything he said there was basically FUD, and it was not correct information, which I'm really surprised that actually happened yesterday. So, and he called Bitcoin a cult. That was actually hilarious too. It just shows that a lot of people are intimidated by Bitcoin and the revolution that it brings about. Just so you guys know. I want to see what you guys are saying on that clip. It's absolutely wild. MetaMask, hi, nice to see you. Welcome to the stream, Flat Smack. Yeah, Bitcoin all the way, man. Bacon, eggs, and hash. Nice to see you. Let's get 200 likes. I support it. Yeah, he did say that, Chris Allen. Such garbage, Ian said. Lazarus, real money laundering. Yeah, that was a little crazy to me. I was like, oh, he really said real money laundering. Like, who's trying to money launder? We're trying to just own money. Thank you for subscribing, Hitman. We're just trying to own money. I don't know. If you guys could, make sure you guys smash these likes, share the stream out with friends. Let's get 100 likes and 100 live viewer. DJ and Crypto Coffee said that's how people sound when they don't know fully about something. It's scary. Bad Faith Gary, is that another? I have to see that profile picture. Is that another Gary Gensler spinoff? Is this like Harry Gensler's cousin? Yevgeny Klaus said, who called Bitcoin a cult? This guy called Bitcoin a cult. This guy.
That reached $100 has started at $1 or $2. So
and a lot of those
when
collapse.
you look at things, you don't look at the past. You look at the drawdown you can experience if you own it when it's already mature. So the one, it's not an inflation hedge. Two, the thing is, it may be good for transaction, for petty transaction, small amount of money, but it's not good for real money laundering because it's very traceable. And three, it is pretty much in the first time in the history of the world, we have had a cult, cult coupled with a financial instrument.
What do you make of BlackRock now trying to pursue with an ETF?
So there's the cult comment. For those of you that were wondering where that came from, yeah, that was wild. Cryptos for Liberty said, "Welcome to the Thunderdome." Yeah, I like the Thunderdome. That sounds pretty zesty and intense. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of Thunderdome. Now, my friends, we have what do I see here? 88 likes. Am I correct on that? Why? Let's get 100 likes. What's going on? It isn't even good for money laundering. That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing.
Hi Creighton. You are watching the replay. #lurker.
Dave Digital, thanks for your $2 super chat. Hi to Creighton watching the replay. Yeah, Creighton, listen, Creighton is a zesty individual by some sort, and he's not going to get any raisins in his cookie because he doesn't show up here. So, Echo Leaf, moved to you. Olive said, see his face when BlackRock was mentioned, laugh emoji. Yeah, there's a lot of things there. 3 Diglett said he slipped. I don't know. I think he's just like not into crypto. You know, that happens a lot. We got Pharaoh Towers. Nice to see you, Roland Wishers. It's not good for money laundering. Literally, yes, everything is so transparent, which I think is so hilarious that they're really trying to push this narrative. Guys, come on. Now, I want to talk about FTX as well, because FTX is obviously an interesting site to behold. Currently, we're at $30,844. Let's go back up to 31K. Come on, bros. All right, I'm not going to look at the chart anymore. I have to focus on the news and education because I want to provide value to y'all. Listen, friends, FTX has been a debacle since November, filing for Chapter 11, SBF running off to the Bahamas, people trying to go to the Bahamas to get SBF to admit to his wrongdoings. Well, he was thrown in jail, then was sent in the Bahamas, then sent to the U.S., where he's now sitting and playing League of Legends with his mom's phone because he can't use his own phone. He has to use Mama FTX's phone. Mama Freed. Nonetheless, there are still really no answers for what happens with SBF. Apparently, they're working on dropping some charges for SBF. Billions of dollars are still in the air. It's just funny how, if you remember back in April, we heard this. FTX recovered $7.3 billion in assets and will consider rebooting the exchange, which is something that I thought was pretty wild because FTT tokens started to pump. They said, there was certain evidence that they had to look at, and the bankruptcy judge denied a motion that would allow the court to prioritize reimbursing CEO SBF for his legal fees. So at that time in April, they were looking at rebooting FTX. SBF was trying to get his legal fees paid. Now it's said out here in the zest of all zest that FTX debtors recovered $7 billion. And the investigation has been extraordinarily challenging. Debtors have recovered approximately $7 billion in liquid assets from FTX. While this still falls short of the roughly $8.7 billion that the exchange owes to its customers, the gap appears to be closing. However, it's unclear whether the $7 billion will go toward the money owed to customers. And exactly this is what you listen for. Oh, we don't know whether it's going to go to the customers. Because, of course, no one gets anything when it comes down to this. Because you know who's probably going to end up getting the money? SBF. Because SBF is going to be like, well, I can't pay my legal fees even though there's still millions and millions missing from FTX. I don't know where they came from and properties that are still in my name. Where? As in the form of fiat currency and stablecoin that has been misappropriated, despite the ongoing challenges created by the commingling of customer funds and corporate assets and other mismanagement of the FTX group, the debtors continue to make substantial progress in their ongoing efforts to identify, secure, and recover assets for the estate, which is said from a recent filing. According to the court documents, it was, quote, extraordinarily challenging to track assets due to the commingling and misuse of FTX.com customer deposits occurred for several years. The debtors in charge of the estate had to differentiate between the operating funds for the FTX group and FTX.com customer funds. Bottom line, all commingled, no idea where anything goes. Yet, are there active notices being sent out to FTX? Is FTT still not deemed a security? Yes. Isn't that wild how FTT is still running wild there? People are still pumping FTT and that's okay, but they're coming after these metaverse coins. Ridiculous. There's a 38-page document that detailed FTX's spending, including former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried's political donations And him, along with other FTX executives, made roughly $100 million in donations. He also spent FTX over $240 million in real estate in the Bahamas, and the debtors were able to track transfers between Alameda and FTX worth $2.2 billion worth of commingled funds. Quote, the FTX group funded these real estate purchases from accounts that held commingled customer and corporate funds. The FTX group purchased the most of the real estate through a subsidiary, FTX Property Holdings Limited, which was incorporated in the Bahamas July 2021. The report is that CEO John Ray his investigation into the company. In April, he disclosed the inner workings of FTX, revealing that it did not properly keep track of employee payrolls while they were also trying to reboot the exchange. So while all of this is happening, my friends, April, we hear, wow, $7.3 billion in assets have been recovered. FTX 2.0 underway. Then we hear they still recovered $7 billion, but it's been really challenging to figure it out. And it's unclear whether anyone gets any money now. We already know that there are other organizations that are looking to get this money from FTX. If you're wondering who those organizations are, because although, again, they said we recovered $7 billion in liquid assets, they're not sure if it will go towards the customers. It's probably going back to the IRS. Why am I saying this? If you guys remember, back in May, we heard this. U.S. Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, files claims worth $44 billion against the FTX bankruptcy. They only recovered $7.3 billion. But there's a file claim for the $44 billion. I'll read up on it so y'all remember. The IRS has filed claims worth nearly $44 billion against the estate of bankrupt crypto exchange FTX and its affiliated entities. According to the bankruptcy filings dated April 27th and the 28th, the IRS put forth 45 claims against FTX companies, which include West Realm Shires, the legal entity of FTX US, Ledger Holdings, the parent company of Ledger X and Ledger Prime, and Blockfolio, among others. The largest of the claims includes a $20.4 billion and a $7.9 billion claim against Alameda Research LLC and two claims totaling $9.5 billion against Alameda Research Holdings, Inc. $44 billion claim. They were filed under the classification admin priority, which could allow the IRS's claims to take precedence over the claims of other creditors. So again, they recovered $7 billion, but the IRS might take it over everybody else. The organizations, the SEC, the IRS, all these people that are supposed to protect us, watch out for us. Because you know, if you spend over $500 or $600 on Venmo, they're coming for you. Yet, Gary Gensler had backdoor meetings with SBF. They had some hangouts. FTX was never called out for selling unregistered securities. FTT was never deemed a security. Now the IRS says, hey, we filed a $44 billion claim against FTX and its entities, and we might get the money over you guys. So even though we're trying to protect you, we still need that cash anyway. Not prioritizing giving it back to anybody, right? We already know that they already owe FTX. FTX owes the customers $8.7 billion. Look at little SBF, hair full of secrets and private keys. A new report from the FTX team says that it's digging through the financial guts of the failed exchange and says it owes its customers $8.7 billion after commingling and misusing their deposits. And senior executives started hiding that trouble as early as August 2022. About $6.4 billion of the money from the FTX.com exchange owed its customers was for, quote, in the form of fiat currency and stablecoin that had been misappropriated, according to the report filed on Monday. About $7 billion in assets have been recovered so far, and those searching the company's assets, quote, anticipate additional recoveries. The image that FTX Group sought to portray as the customer-focused leader of the digital age was a mirage, says John J. Ray III. The CEO who's trying to recover money for the creditors, but also trying to reboot FTX 2.0 so he could get a nice payday. Quote, from the inception of FTX.com exchange, the FTX group commingled customer deposits and corporate funds and misused them with abandon at the direction and by the design of previous senior executives. Just a wishy-washy situation. A product of months of analysis and forensic auditing, the new report paints a picture of the company management and at least one senior lawyer knowingly misusing customer money, saying, quote, they lied to banks and auditors, executed false documents, and moved the FTX group from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, taking flight from the U.S. to Hong Kong to the Bahamas, in a continual effort to enable and avoid detection of their wrongdoing. The 33-page review is the second filed by Ray after he detailed an initial examination in April that provided a number of revelations of improper activity under founder and former CEO SBF's watch. He's facing a number of criminal charges that they're now trying to drop by October here in New York. Those trying to trace FTX transactions and funding are finding the task extraordinarily challenging, which is what we kind of just went over. Where are the calls to all of these executives? Caroline Ellison, Gary Wang, Dan Feinberg, whatever his name is. All of these people that had a part in wishing and washing this money, moving all this money from here and there. Why don't we hear about any of them anymore? Why don't we hear about SBF in the news? Why don't we hear about Caroline Ellison, Gary Wang, all of these people that were involved in this exchange? Where did they go? Where did they go? Apparently, FTX splurged. What did they splurge on? Cartoon. A book about humans and Pineapple House. Are you kidding me? Former FTX executives allegedly splurged millions on funding niche projects unrelated to crypto or Web3, including a uniquely named $1.8 million quote, Pineapple House. According to the report, this included charitable donations made by the exchange's co-founder SBF and other executives under the nonprofit FTX Foundation. Details were $700,000 worth of FTX Foundation, quote, grants, $400,000 of which were given to an entity that posting animated videos on YouTube related to rationalists, and another $300,000 grant was given to an individual to write a book about how to figure out what humans' utility function is. On May 19th of 2022, the FTX Foundation authorized a $300 grant to write a book. And it says on June 30th, 2022, they funded a $400,000 grant to post animated videos on YouTube. Ray alleged that these grants used FTX customer funds, commingled in various bank accounts controlled by FTX, Alameda, and other various entities. Who are the individuals that they paid? Because I'm wondering if any of these animations ever came out, the book was ever even close to written, and if those checks cleared. And if those checks cleared, then what did that person do with the money? Did it all just go to another person, to a writer, to an animator, and go right back to Sam Bankman-Fried? They also report a list of a $1.8 million property called Pineapple House among FTX's $243 million Bahamian real estate portfolio, allegedly purchasing using customer funds. International broker Sotheby's lists a similarly named property in the Bahamas, although it's unknown if it's the same Pineapple House. As the name suggests, guarding against pandemic advocates for investments to prevent pandemics such as COVID-19, as per its website. According to Ray, it, quote, worked closely with the similarly named Political Action Committee Guarding Against Pandemics PAC, run by Gabe Bankman-Fried, the younger brother of Sam Bankman-Fried. So Sam Bankman-Fried sent $20 million of customer funds to his brother. So let me get this straight. FTX took billions and billions of dollars from people. With those billions of dollars, now we have recovered $7.3 billion. It was extremely challenging. John Ray is still getting his payday, maybe considering boosting FTX again. Then the IRS comes in and said the entities that are supposed to protect us said, hey, we are filing a $44 billion claim against you, and we might get that money over the debtors and the creditors of FTX. On top of that, they spent millions of dollars on weird things, like $400,000 to post animated videos and another $300,000 to write a book about human utility. Then giving $20 million to his brother for an organization called Guarding Against Pandemics and related entities, with also using customer funds to buy an almost $2 million property called Pineapple House in the Bahamas. And this was only one of the things that happened to one of the properties that they're listing, because FTX, the entity, was supposed to own these properties, but somehow, if you guys remember, Sam Bankman-Fried's parents just got their name on that. This is only the beginning. What will happen to Sam Bankman-Fried? Will he go to jail? Will he just continue playing League of Legends on his mom's phone? Let me know in the comments. I know Crypto Face is here. I know he's hanging. What are you feeling, Crypto Face? How do you feel about Sam Bankman-Fried's hair? If you want to let me know that, Crypto Face. I don't know if you're still here. But I know I went on like this long thing, but I just cannot believe what I'm looking at. Cannot believe what I'm looking at. Oh, you said I have good curls and SBF doesn't. I will say it doesn't look like SBF really has a solid hair routine. If you look at the picture of him, like this does not look like a solid hair routine. It looks a little frizzy. It doesn't look like, you know, he put any conditioner in there, no hair products. Like, no, this is not is not a solid hair routine. I'll tell you that right now. He walks outside in August in New York, frizz. Utter frizz. It's gonna get a little crazy here. It's gonna get a little crazy. Man. Oval Boy said hello to me. Well, hello. David, I got into crypto for some new teeth. Just listen to your last video, Miss Dental Assistant. Well, yeah, listen, I care about the dental hygiene out here. I care about the dental hygiene. Three Diglets, I don't see how FTX can be trusted if they come back. I said the same thing. It's just like how they said Celsius was going to come back and they were going to be a publicly traded company. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. Is anybody going to use that besides the people who want to take more money and probably flow more money through that platform? Yeah, that's who's going to use it. But I won't. I don't trust anybody. I only trust myself. That's why I go on exchanges. I buy my crypto on the exchanges and I take the crypto off of the exchange and I put it in my wallet. Period. You want to see my hair when I meet humidity? Yeah, listen. I mean, it's pretty humid right now, and my hair's not crazy today though. I didn't really go outside, but if you like see me like August outdoors or even mid-July, like hair will be huge and frizzy and crazy. But I do try my best to tame it. You know, I do try my best. Moonshine, nice to see you. FTX would be under a new CEO. Well, they already have John Ray, and he's collecting that money. He's taking his paydays. Namby Pamby said, I just want hair. Here, some for you. Some for you. We have a lot of bald individuals here, and we say bald is beautiful. So Julio likes the line main look. That's kind of how I feel right now. That's kind of how I feel. It's a little frizzy today, but you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. Oh gosh, guys. So we have some stuff going on. I want to step maybe international for a moment and like talk about what's happening internationally, then I'll step back into the US. So let's do that. Let's hop on our boats. We're going to go some international traveling. Let's row somewhere else. Woo. 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 Sam, what about BlockFi? I haven't really seen anything about BlockFi. Really. I haven't seen anything about BlockFi. Okay. Oh, thank you, Crypto Mike. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day, too. Here's the EU. The EU. New news. EU seals the deal on crypto bank capital rules. So the EU, they're dicey individuals over there at the EU. I don't trust them. I don't trust Christine. I don't trust none of them. But the EU said on Tuesday that they secured a political deal on a new bank capital legislation, including for crypto assets, after lawmakers sought prohibitive rules to make unbacked crypto out of the traditional financial system. That means they're scared as sheesh of Bitcoin. The deal was announced in a tweet from the European Parliament's Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee after a meeting among representatives of the European Parliament, national governments, and the European Commission, which had first proposed new rules back in 2021. The political deal, which also introduces sweeping and controversial changes to how banks assess the risks of corporate and home loans, must now be voted on by member states in the EU Council and lawmakers to become legislation, a practice that can take many months. Now, the new rules, which would adjust the risk weighting for banking assets and corporate loans, boost the strength and resilience of banks operating in the union. Swedish Finance Minister Elisabeth Svantesson, who chaired the talks on behalf of the EU member states, said in a statement. The Council statement also confirms the deal, which includes a transitional prudential regime for crypto assets. The international standard setters at the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision are currently finalizing what a crypto global banking rulebook would look like, which is nearly impossible to do. I would love to see them try. But details already out suggesting they'll take a tough line, assigning the maximum possible 1,250% risk weight to free-floating crypto. That would mean banks would have to issue a euro capital for each euro of Bitcoin or ETH they hold, giving them little incentive to buy into the market. EU parliamentaries appear keen to see those measures take effect sooner rather than later. Again, because they are so scared. They are so scared, but it doesn't matter. The thing is, we don't need the banks. Huh? Isn't that a wild concept? We don't need the banks. We don't need the banks to tell us, oh, you could buy Bitcoin and ETH through us. We don't need you. We could buy our own Bitcoin. We could store our own Bitcoin. We don't need you to custody anything for us. And you know what? The EU will fall behind because you have all of these other countries that are working on integrating crypto, holding crypto custody services, all of it. All of it. So it's just a matter of, friends, of what you want to pay attention to. Do you want to stick with the TradFi bros? Love the banks. Or do you want to be your own bank? Take control over your money, because that's what it's all about. It's all about control. Let's listen to Christine. And you guys know how I feel about Christine, but we're gonna talk to Christine for a second. Christine, hold on. I'll let you speak. Give me a second, Chris. President of the European Central Bank right here.
Where do we stand? We central bankers, we have been operating as a monetary anchor in relation to the commercial banks and the private money. If we are not in that game, if we are not involved in experimenting, in innovating in terms of digital central bank money, we risk losing the role of anchor that we have played for many, many decades. And we have historical examples of period where the central bank monetary anchor was not there, and that precipitated crisis after crisis. That certainly was the case at the time of the free banking in the 19th century. Do we want to go back to those days? Probably not. I would say certainly not from our vantage point, as a result of which we have to respond to the demand for those digital payments in order to maintain the role of anchor that we have been playing regularly.
It's all about control. It's all about maintaining what they feel they need their power. Or else they said, we'll go into crisis. She said, we'll go into crisis. Guys, we are seeing that the banks are going into crisis themselves. That's the thing. Where you're looking all over the world. And even when you saw Silicon Valley Bank go down here, it impacted the globe. You then saw on the TV, Credit Suisse, all of these banks getting acquired by other banks. Oh my gosh. Now, what is the problem? They're not realizing that Bitcoin is open, that people that can't be banked have the opportunity to own something now. And they feel that if they don't step in and keep people from rising up, then they will lose their power. Again, I say this all the time. Whoever has the money has the power. Right now, the central banks have the power. The powers that be. That's how they become the powers that be, because they have money. And because they have money, they're able to enforce all of these things that they want to enforce through the EU, through central banks, all of these governments. Now with the Bitcoin, we kind of combat that, where again, anyone, anywhere in the world could send and receive value instantly and own it. That's what they want to prevent. They want to be in the middle of everything. And I have a video that explains exactly why. CryptoFace, affordable banking was the cause of the problems in the 90s. My lord, this lady is the devil. Yeah, this is crazy because again, people can't be banked. Even in the US, if you look at the stats, right? A lot of people right now can't be banked. And if you look at a lot of banks, if you have under $500 in your bank account or even under $50, you get charged money for not having money. How is that fair? You already have nothing. Now they want to take anything you have away from you? You have to bring power back to the people. That's how you make change. Like, for example, Elon Musk is a good example of that as well. He came from nothing. He became something. And now he's one of the richest men in the world. And along with that, he gets to make change, like making SpaceX, working on Tesla, bringing us and colonizing Mars, buying Twitter, which gave us a lot of individualism back, a lot of free speech. He's trying to handle all of these things, but it comes with, unfortunately, he has the funds to do it. And he's, of course, smart, so he has his companies and builds up his capital, and that way he can make change. Even he's talking about Doge and crypto because it's a decentralized currency that everyone can use, everyone can take part of, and you don't have to wait for the institutions to allow you to do it. Be your own bank, don't rely on the banks, and don't listen to these crazy things that they say. Because even if you listen to this clip of Christine again, it's all about control, and that if you spend over $1,000 of their current or 1,000 euros, you'll be in the black market and you can actually go to jail for spending your money. I know it sounds ridiculous, but listen to this.
I'm also a good user of electronic money. So my question, you're introducing the electronic euro, as I know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How can switching to an electronic currency help?
Well, two things. Number one, it will be decided in October. So we are preparing the ground. We want to be ready. We want to be trained, but it will not be decided until October 23. Mm-hmm. The reason I'm personally convinced that we have to move ahead is a situation like the one we are in now. We are dependent on the supply of gas by a very unfriendly country. I don't want Europe to be dependent on an unfriendly country's currency. For instance, I don't know, the Chinese currency, the Russian currency, the whatever. Or dependent on a friendly currency, but which is activated by a private corporate entity like, Facebook or like Google or anybody like that.
I'm user of Bitcoin too, so I had bought it when it started, and I hope that it also will work through the special system. And I know there are many protests in Europe against the electronic euro. What is the reason?
It's the beauty of Europe. It has different positions. If you ask in Northern Europe, for instance, in the Netherlands, they're quite happy to see the e-euro coming. If you ask a young German man, he'll say, yeah, fine. As I said, I don't want Meta, Google, or Amazon to suddenly come up with a currency that will take over the sovereignty of Europe. I don't want a foreign currency to become the currency of trading within Europe. So we have to be ready.
No, the problem is they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to.
Yeah, but you know what? Now we have in Europe this threshold, above 1,000 euros, you cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the gray market. So you take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But you know, the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right. We are considering whether for very small amounts, you know, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
Or you go to jail. Spend your money the way you want, or you go to jail. Just wanted to show that to you guys because I think it's very important to be aware of like what's actually going on. Now, the EU, again, trying to do so many things. If you didn't know, they were actually trying to do a kill switch on smart contracts. If you guys didn't know, I could actually pull that up really quick. The EU, they wanted to propose a kill switch on smart contracts. So that literally means exactly what it says. Where if they don't like what you're doing, they will literally shut you down. They will be like, "Oh, you're doing something. You're doing decentralized exchanges. Oh, wow. Bye. Dead. Kill. Bye." Exactly what they want to do. So watch out for the EU. She knows exactly beacon, egg, and a hash. She knows what kind of game is being played. Oh, gosh, it's Joe. Wow, you finally came. Good for you, man. Javier, nice to see you. John Legend. Javier said so many people, relatives and friends are still clueless of all of this. Yeah, exactly. And that's what's crazy too, because I do this every day. So it's kind of like I'm looking at all of this and I'm trying to tell people and it doesn't even sound real to them. It sounds like I'm making it up. Oh, hey, did you know that all of the banks, the central banks from around the world that control literally everything that happens in your life are literally making a digital currency in which if this digital currency gets in your hands and distributed, you will have no rights, no freedoms, and you will be surveilled at every single move you make? They're like, what? It actually sounds dystopian. It sounds like it shouldn't be real, but it's exactly what's happening. The Bank of England, as you know, the Bank of England has been working. The Bank of England has been working on central bank digital currencies for years. Since at least 2020, they've been writing documents on it and everything. The digital pound, there's news on it. The digital pound will be synonymous with a focus on privacy, says the CBDC chief in the Bank of England. Tom Mutton, the director of fintech at the Bank of England, recently shared insights on the privacy aspect of a CBDC and why the central bank might look for other options beyond blockchain as the underpinning technology. Exactly what they're looking for is to make private ledgers, guys. That is the end of everything, is private ledgers. In the interview, he said that during a recent meeting of technologists hosted by the BOE to discuss the digital pound design, there was a clear disagreement on which ledger should be used for the CBDC.
If we already have a bank, wouldn't we have no choice but to accept the CBDCs?
That's a good question, 3 Diglets. I will actually go. I will ramble about that. Give me 2 minutes. I will ramble about that. So this coin is what I find hilarious about it is that it was dubbed Britcoin. So in the interview, he said there was a recent meeting that he had about the digital pound design, and there was clear disagreement on which they should use for the CBDC. Thus, the bank aims to trial multiple ledger technologies, including blockchain. So the Britcoin, the development plans for a digital pound, were first proposed when the UK's Treasury Department and the BOE established a joint task force for a UK CBDC in April 2021. Meanwhile, we have documents proving that they were looking into this in 2020. Later, in February 2023, they issued a consultancy paper outlining the design of the digital pound. Currently, the BOE and His Majesty's Treasury are seeking feedback from stakeholders. We want to be compatible with distributed ledger business models in the private sector, but we are not convinced that distributed ledgers offer more efficiency over conventional ledgers. Apart from the discussions about ledger technology, he also talked about the privacy aspect, claiming it would be focused on offering privacy to users and won't collect personal data. He said the bank would focus on providing the infrastructure while private players would be responsible for the innovation. Quote, there will be no data shared with the BOE, and we will know what transactions have happened, but we will have no data on the individual who did it, while the wallet provider who would have the user data but won't have access to their transaction data, which again, they can ask which transaction happened. They can ask the private person, the wallet provider. They have your information. So the wallet provider has your user data. Let's get this straight. The wallet has your data, but the Bank of England doesn't know the transaction. They do know the transaction. Okay, hold on. Let me start over. The wallet has your data, but doesn't have access to transactions. But the Bank of England knows the transactions, but doesn't have your data. But what if they suspected that you were doing something wrong? Can't the Bank of England just go to the wallet provider and say, hey, what is this person's user data so we can match it to their transactions? And that way we catch you and you're still being surveilled at every single way you look? Yes. So this is a trap once again. If you look at the Bank of England's website that we were looking at, they literally were talking about how, hold on, let me actually look at this. They were actually talking about how a central bank digital currency would be distributed to you by a private company. The digital pound, I got it. Pulling up the alpha for you guys, pulling up the alpha, okay. The digital pound, this is Bank of England's website, and they put up a video. Listen to this video. It's wild. I watch all of these things, and my jaw just drops to the floor. Make sure you guys, make sure we get 150 likes.
The world we live in is becoming more digital. As a result, we aren't using cash as much as we used to. To keep up with the changing times, the Bank of England and HM Treasury are looking at the idea of a digital pound. This would be an electronic version of cash issued by the Bank of England and accessed through digital wallets provided by private companies. You'd be able to spend your digital pounds in the shops and online using your phone, as well as sending them to friends and family. And you would also still be able to pay with cash or money in your bank, even if we go ahead with the digital pound. People have told us that this could be useful, but we haven't made a final decision whether to launch one. A few countries already have their own version of a digital currency, and over 100 others are thinking about it. We think the digital pound might offer a new way to pay, help businesses, build trust in money, and better protect our financial system.
At least they had good music. At least like the music was like, oh, vibe. Guys, the digital pound given to you by private companies in the wallet, so they'll have all of your information. Guys, this is all a trap. It's all a trap. And they said, oh, to give protection, protect the consumers, give trust in the financial system. That would make me distrust you because everything is closed. You have no idea about anything that's going on. It's a trap. Please be aware of central bank digital currencies and the dangers that they literally have to offer. I'm not done with CBDCs. I have so much news on CBDCs. It's not even funny. So we have the Bank of England and the digital pound saying that there might be some privacy there, which we know there won't be privacy. Next, we have the Swiss central bank announcing plans for a wholesale CBDC pilot with real money. Real money. The head of the Swiss National Bank, SNB, has announced that the bank will launch a wholesale CBDC, WCBDC pilot program, according to a report. Reuters quoted both the chair, Thomas Jorgen, as saying the project would begin soon. The WCBDC will be issued on the Swiss SIX digital exchange with a run for a limited time. Jorgen was quoted as saying at the Point Zero Forum in Zurich on June 26th. The SIX group also runs Switzerland's largest stock exchange. Jorgen said, according to the report, quote, "This is not just an experiment. It will be real money equivalent to bank reserves, and the objective is to test real transactions with market participants." SNB governing board member Thomas Moser told Cointelegraph last year that CBDCs could work well within the decentralized finance era, but the SNB integrated a WCBDC into the back office systems of 5 banks early last year as part of its Project Helvetia, which had previously been completed as a proof of concept for their CBDC. This was also a pivot that was expressed a year ago from the S&B chief economist Carlos Lenz, who said that blockchain was not suitable for a CBDC and the country had no intention of issuing one. Of course, that is a fib, and now they're announcing plans for their wholesale CBDC pilot. Even within the economic report of the president, they told you that CBDCs are not crypto because apparently the only real money comes from central banks. What value does a central bank have other than it's just as a bank that prints fiat currencies all over the world that are constantly being inflated and devaluing people's worth and their wealth? Opt into another system. Opt into a system, a decentralized financial ecosystem that you have control over your money. You're able to be your own bank. You know, with Bitcoin and even Litecoin, that there's a finite supply with Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin, having every 4 years, so we understand the inflation schedule. There's transparency, there's truth, and every single transaction is visible on the blockchain. It's easy for low or micro or macro transactions. Bitcoin solves so many problems that CBDCs just create more of. We have 3 inalienable rights: life, liberty, and property. All are instantly taken by a central bank digital currency, but are emphasized with Bitcoin. If you understand Bitcoin, you understand how dangerous CBDCs are. We're already seeing that rolled out in other countries where the money expires. They shut you down if they don't like you. You're already seeing that now within TradFi. The banks, they don't like you, they're shutting you down. In the UK, they limit, or you can't even buy crypto from exchanges in the UK. How is that fair? If your money is your money, shouldn't you be able to buy, spend, purchase what you want? You can't, which means your money isn't your money. And you need to make sure you own your value. Hold your value. Own your value. Look into Bitcoin, my friends. Get educated on this stuff. Hold on. Okay. So, 3 Diglets, thank you for your $5 super chat. And you said, if we already have a bank, wouldn't we have no choice but to accept the CBDC? So I think there's even now, okay, we saw like bank runs happening. People already don't trust the banks. People don't even trust them to hold the money, right? So what people are doing now is if you look at the banks, they're not even telling you the real stats. Within the first quarter of this year, over 722 banks lost over 50% of their capital. If you looked at PacWest, Western Alliance, the withdrawals that were happening there were unlike anything they've ever seen, probably maybe since 2008. They will integrate a CBDC. They will try. The thing is, you already see with FedNow and how FedNow operates. I have a video if you guys would like to see it. Let me know in chat. That there will always be an intermediary. And they could censor you immediately. And that only becomes more with the CBDC. So people, yes, they're going to say, hey, this is your money in your account. Let's transfer it into a CBDC. But people are going to say, that's not free. I can't spend my money how I want. There's going to be limits there.
You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Make cookies, not CBDCs. Peace.
Thanks, Julio.
Folded hands.
Thanks, Julio. Peace and love. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. I think CBDCs are really going to be pushed to the people that are going to use FedNow. They're going to push the FedNow people and like people that get government benefits, that get things like food stamps and, EBT, everything like that. That's what I think they're going to go after. They're going to go after the people that don't have money already. That, again, if you don't have money, unfortunately, like if the collective people don't have money, they don't have the power. Who has the money and the power? Obviously the governments, obviously the central banks and the Federal Reserve. So they're going to push it on the people that don't have the power to really fight them back and say, hey, I'm opting out of this. So they're going to say, hey, you need money to feed your family this week. This is how you're getting it. And this is where and how you have to spend it. Unfortunately, they're going to push it on those people. Then there's going to come a time where it hits the mainstream and people are just going to say, we're not doing this anymore. We have to have something that's the opposite. Kenny-O, thank you for the 5 memberships. Guys, please spam your member emojis if you got a membership. Oh, that's so awesome. And Guy, you joined as a friend. Thank you, Guy, for joining. Guys, thank you so much. Kenny O, guys, please show off your member emojis. Give them some love. I think, how do you guys feel about the sheesh and the zesty emoji? Let me know how you feel about that so far. Thank you for joining, guys. I appreciate you so much. Like, you guys are amazing. Thank you for your super chats today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so you guys wanted the FedNow video. So I will find the FedNow video for you because it's just freaking wild, man. And it makes it even more complicated than it needs to be. The funny thing is, like, the FedNow, they're like, oh, FedNow, it's so easy, instant payments. But, like, how many things does it have to go through? Like, 5 million things? Like, it's absolutely insane. Let me see if I could get this video. I'm working on it. Guys, please throw those member emojis in the chat. Yeah, they do make CBDCs expire in China. I have this video that I play all the time of CBDCs in China and how they're literally forcing it on you. It's freaking insane. They're making everyone use a CBDC. All right, here is the video because I know that you guys wanted to see it. Okay. One moment. I got it. Come on, computer. You can do it. You can do it. All right. Here's the video on FedNow. It's like 3 minutes, but here you go.
In today's fast-paced world, time is money. More people, businesses, and organizations are demanding instant payments. That's why the Federal Reserve is developing the FedNow service, a safe and efficient instant payments infrastructure that will modernize the U.S. payment system. The FedNow service will give financial institutions the opportunity to innovate, enabling their customers to send and receive money in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Funds will settle between financial institutions in real time, which means there's no buildup of interbank obligations, and end users will have access to the funds in seconds. How will the FedNow service work? Imagine the owner of a coffee shop is running low on coffee beans and needs to schedule a quick delivery. She places an order, and the coffee bean company sends her a request for payment. She responds to the request for payment and pays for the coffee beans right then and there through an app from her credit union, which uses the FedNow service. Once she initiates the payment, her credit union screens the payment and sends an ISO 20022 compliant payment message, either directly or through a service provider to the FedNow service over the Federal Reserve's FedLine network. The FedNow service instantly validates the payment message and passes it along to the coffee bean supplier's bank. In real time, the supplier's bank confirms to the FedNow service that it intends to accept the payment, and the FedNow service debits and credits the master accounts of both the shop owners and the coffee bean supplier's financial institutions or the master accounts of their correspondents. The FedNow service also immediately sends a payment message with an advice of credit to the supplier's bank and notifies the shop owner's credit union that settlement is complete. Finally, the supplier's bank credits the supplier's account in near real time, making the funds available. The supplier's bank will have the option of sending a confirmation to the shop owner's credit union that the payment has been posted to the supplier's account, providing the coffee shop owner with certainty that the payment was received. The FedNow service will be designed to be flexible and support a broad range of potential use cases. Banks, credit unions, and other industry providers can use it as a springboard for innovation to support a range of applications such as account-to-account transfers and bill pay. For example, now imagine it's after hours and the shop owner gets a reminder that her car insurance bill is due today. She may be able to avoid a late fee by initiating a bill payment in her credit union app and selecting to pay it now. Later, she repays a friend for a pizza they shared using an app provided by her credit union that clears and settles through the FedNow service. With this service, banks and credit unions can remain competitive by offering the type of payment options customers increasingly expect in today's fast-paced world. The FedNow service will support flexible adoption, allowing financial institutions the option to work with aggregators, processors, and correspondents to adopt the service. Banks and credit unions will also have the option to adopt the full set of FedNow capabilities or sign on as a receive-only participant. The initial launch of the FedNow service will focus on core clearing and settlement capabilities. Additional features will be released in phases to meet evolving industry demands and changes in technology. Get ready for the FedNow service. Learn more at fednow.org.
Woo! FedNow! Woo! Snooze. Guys, isn't that crazy? They want to go to, okay, I send a payment, goes to the bank, then the credit union, then the other person, then this person, then that. Isn't Bitcoin so much easier than that? Where you broadcast a transaction, then miners all over the world are like, good, good, good. Transaction goes through. Oh, good, good. All right. Peer-to-peer. Doesn't go through all these freaking people that can censor your transactions. Doesn't the FedNow program sound a lot more difficult than just Bitcoin? Bitcoin already does all of this. Now, I understand that a lot of you guys are saying, hey, maybe I'm not going to use Bitcoin to buy a coffee. I understand that. Main chain Bitcoin, probably not. Lightning Network, maybe. On the other hand, that's why we have other cryptocurrencies like Litecoin that could be used as currency, sound money. So we already have peer-to-peer currencies. We already have proof of work. We already have transparency. This system has no transparency in it. It is full control. The banks, the credit unions, all of it will not be open to you. They will try to force you into the programs. And that's why we have to be able to own Bitcoin, have Bitcoin. So that way we are able to transact when we want, how we want, and peer-to-peer. A lot of you guys are saying in the chat, Doge too. Yeah, I think literally currency, I picture as currency, Litecoin, Doge even. If you want to use Doge because it's able to scale. And if you look at the stats, it's able to scale the network. The fees don't really go up that much. Litecoin is able to scale, of course. And even Digibyte. I know it's not used a lot right now, but I think Digibyte is fast. And it's definitely something I'd use as money. We have David in all caps and lowercase David. Hi, both Davids. I love that. UK Miners Club. Tron USD. Oh, yes. CryptoFace. That's a good point, too. Listen, Tron and USDT works like nothing, man. Nothing. Tron USDT is good, too. Sorry, Face. Definitely left that one out by accident. I agree. Stacy, have I covered the news about USA having FTX send funds? Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't cover that. I would like to know more about that, Stacy, actually. I've heard about it, but I didn't see any articles, which is why it's probably likely that I didn't see articles, because why would they want to expose little SBF when they're just keeping him in his fuzzy hair in his mom's basement playing League of Legends on her phone? Moo to Echo Leaf. Moo. Pat M's is not a fan. Dave, lowercase David said, hell to the now. We don't need CBDCs. I agree. 3 Diglets. Bitcoin, ETH, and Litecoin should be the only ones that exist in 10 years. I'm going to disagree with that, 3 Diglets. Much love to you, and like a lot of love to you, bro. But I think Bitcoin, ETH, and Litecoin are going to survive. But even ETH, ETH has to fix a lot of problems. Like the gas fees are going to, we need platforms with lower gas fees. So I don't think it's going to be only ETH that people are looking to build on. So I think it's going to be more than Bitcoin, Litecoin, and ETH, but I do think those 3 are going to be around. Even ETH, right? During the ERC20 craze, if you guys look up the articles, I covered it on the show, ETH stopped finalizing transactions 2 times in the matter of 24 hours, and the second time was for hours at a time. That is scary. Although it did catch up, it finalized. That is a little bit of a red flag. So I do think that ETH has to scale a little bit better, but I do love ETH so much. I hand out cards. I tell you guys all the time on the street, I hand out these cards, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and ETH. So of course, those are my 3 tops. But I do picture people, using things like Litecoin more and other. I think there could be literally a blockchain that comes out tomorrow that blows everything away. We don't know if proof of work or proof of stake is going to be the only 2 main consensus mechanisms either. There could be something that comes out tomorrow that, again, just blows everything away. So I wouldn't stomp on the innovation, because I think that Bitcoin, Litecoin, and ETH really set the precedent for the whole space, and kind of everyone builds off of that. If you're looking at DeFi and things like that, people are looking to ETH as an example. However, proof of stake isn't, Then you have Litecoin and Bitcoin that are proof of work. You actually get to scale. So yeah, I just think it's not going to be just those three. I think there's going to be a lot more. Like I said, Doge, I think is probably going to play a part in the future because of Elon and everything that he's doing with that. And like I said, there's a lot of things that could be used as money and they're really fast. Echo Leaf, so he's going to build on FedNow. Oh my gosh, I'm so dead. Mark Smithson, nice to see you, man. Guys, what can you MTC say steak? I love steak. I want steak so bad. If someone wants to hang out with me and go get steak, I am with you, bro. I am with you. Joe, is Joe talking smack in here, bro? I can't. I'm gonna have to yell at him if he is. Vinny, nice to see you. I think I lost Joe's comment. Oh, you're talking about Digibyte? Don't be upset. Don't be salty. Say hello to me if I missed you. Hold on, let's see if I have anything. Oh, I have 2 more stories that are interesting. Okay. We have some drama going on with Yellen, Gensler, and Maxine Waters. This is a leading House Democrat that solicits feedback from Gensler and Yellen, even though they're all in cahoots anyway. House Financial Services Committee Chair Maxine Waters has made an overture to regulators in an attempt to secure the passage of a crypto-focused bill that would offer U.S.-based digital asset exchanges a path toward registering with the U.S. SEC. The letter to Gary Gensler, dated June 23rd, asked him to decide how the digital asset market structure proposal will impact the SEC's existing authorities, including, quote, its mission and ability to protect investors and maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets. A similar letter to the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, asked her to explain what impact the bill would have on the Treasury Department and its mission to promote economic prosperity and ensure the financial stability of the United States, as well as how it would address the conflict with any policy recommendations made by the Treasury Department or Financial Stability Oversight Council in its various digital asset reports. The digital asset market structure proposal, co-signed by Patrick McHenry and Glenn Thompson, is the most significant crypto oversight proposal drafted in this year. The letters signal Democrats' attempt to advance the bill that could potentially bring greater regulatory clarity to the burgeoning crypto industry that has been unpopular with many in the party. Again, Gary Gensler, Janet Yellen, they don't give us any clarity anywhere, so hopefully this does give us some clarity, and there's a little bit of a push there. However, we're always talking about Bitcoin ETFs. Hold on, sorry about that. Okay. We're always talking about Bitcoin ETFs. Well, I got some news for you. In terms of ETFs, apparently Cathie Wood's ARK would be the first in line. Oh.
In the Netherlands, paying insurance, house rent, gas, electricity, or loans will be paid only by CBDC.
Really? Wait, where'd you say that was? The Netherlands? Let me go check your comment. 1 second. I gotta go look at that again. So are they pushing that in the Netherlands? Like they really want you to use just the CBDC? Paying insurance, house rent, gas, electric, or loans will be paid only by CBDC. So man versus machine, are they really trying to do that? Like, did they push a CBDC yet really in the Netherlands? I know I was reading something about it. Netherlands, hold on. There was a CBDC protest, was there not, in the Netherlands? Oh, hold on. I think I might be finding some interesting things. I think I might have to do some research on the Netherlands, my friend. So it seems like there was a protest in November that Netherlands citizens took to the streets protesting against the launch of the European native CBDC. Oh, this is interesting, my friend, in the Netherlands. Give me some comments about the Netherlands in there. I'm gonna read some more when I get back to this. All right. So speaking of ETFs, Cathie Wood's ARK is reportedly the first in line for a Bitcoin spot ETF. So you have BlackRock, Invesco, WisdomTree, Valkyrie Funds, all of these people launching ETFs, Trust, even HSBC launching Bitcoin and ETH ETFs in Hong Kong of all places. Well, we're trying to get something going in the United States. Cathie Wood is at the front of the line. ARK Investment Management, a pro-Bitcoin firm founded by veteran investor Cathie Wood, is reportedly ahead in the race for a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund. aka a zesty ETF. In mid-June, the investment firm BlackRock filed an application triggering notable optimism in the crypto markets. Several reports suggested that BlackRock could become the first issuer of a spot Bitcoin ETF in the US should it receive approval, but that might not be the case according to some executives and analysts. Other applicants will be able to amend their filings with similar agreements at little cost, ARK analyst Yassine said in a statement. They also stress that ARK and the European asset manager 21 Shares filed an application with the SEC for a spot Bitcoin ETF in April. Quote, that now is the only one ahead of BlackRock. More industry observers, including Bloomberg Intelligence ETF analyst James Cipher, also argued that ARK and 21 Shares should be ahead of anyone. Quote, 21 Shares, ARK, and CBOE, which is Chicago Options Exchange, are first in line because of their next SEC decision date, which is August 13th. And we don't have yet a date for the other 19B4 applications like BlackRock. BlackRock's filing for the iShares Bitcoin Trust has triggered a wave of reactivated filings. Companies like Valkyrie, WisdomTree, and Invesco refiled for Bitcoin ETFs, and Bitwise also reportedly trying again. Our bull case for a spot Bitcoin ETF approval can basically be summed up in 4 words. Quote, what does BlackRock know? Bloomberg senior ETF analyst wrote on Twitter. ETF Institute co-founder Nate Garachi took to Twitter and to express similar statements. He said, new t-shirt drop, I will say, seems hard to believe this is all coincidence. BlackRock files for an ETF, or if issuers follow suit. EDX is launched, which we went over EDX, which is like a shady little exchange. And 2X leverage Bitcoin futures ETF allowed by SEC. With the little t-shirt, what does BlackRock know? Despite the growing optimism, there's still a lot of things that are going on here. The SEC says here they're unlikely to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF in 2023, which I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they can't afford to wait anymore. Quote, there hasn't really been a lot of development since the first time many of these sponsored filed their initial Bitcoin spot ETFs, adding that they don't believe that a spot coin Bitcoin ETF will be available to the public anytime soon, because there's still a certain amount of time for review. So it could not be until next year, potentially the year after that you could see a spot Bitcoin ETF. I'm telling you guys, they won't wait that long, because Hong Kong launched a Bitcoin and an ETH ETF through HSBC. Crypto adoption is people are like, things don't happen overnight. I really do think that the next wave of adoption might just be feeling like it's overnight. Obviously, to us, we've been in this space forever. I've been here for almost 4 years. Like, this is a crazy time to be in crypto. But this is why we're here, because we're watching the build. We're watching where everything comes from. Now, if you look at the last bull market, when Bitcoin started to run up, these like grocery store coins were popping. A lot of people FOMO'd into this space, and platforms, apps, and games were coming out basically overnight. Projects overnight. And I think this will happen again, where we just see a bunch of things happen literally overnight, where price is running. People are throwing out these projects here and there, and a lot of innovation is coming internationally as well. And you also have the Bitcoin halving that is happening in less than 1 year. So a lot of things are happening in Bitcoin and crypto, a lot of price speculation, and a lot of institutional money. I even tweeted it this morning, my friends. I was feeling the vibe, and I said this morning on the twitter.com, if you guys take a gander at my Twitter, I wrote, big money is coming into Bitcoin as we speak, because it is the truth. It is the truth. Big money is coming into crypto in every way possible. Like, we are getting slapped. Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, Crypto D, welcome to the show. Nice to see you, my zesty member. Nice to see you. Randy A is in the chat. All right, Web3 me. What alt will EDX list first? So apparently they have Bitcoin, Litecoin, and ETH. And I think Bitcoin Cash as well. So if that gives you any clarity. Oh, you were in a secret meeting, Man versus Machine, and you saw the page about CBDCs. Man versus Machine, who are you, my friends? Are you important in, like, TradFi? And you're like, you're like Gary Gensler a little bit. Like, you love crypto, so you're like here on YouTube. You're like looking around, what's going on in crypto, and then you gotta put on your TradFi cap. Is that what's going on, Man versus Machine in the Netherlands? you know, you're getting some zest. What do I think about Bitcoin Cash? I really don't have any thoughts on Bitcoin Cash, to be honest. I don't think a lot of people use it. I think maybe people are trading it a little bit, but I really don't think people are using Bitcoin Cash. Like, if you look at like the use compared to Bitcoin and Litecoin, it just doesn't even touch it, man. It just doesn't even touch it. Bacon, eggs, and hash, there's an evolution to all of this. We have to let it play out. Something wonderful is about to be born. I've been saying that for years, my bros. Saying that for years. I do have like the sheesh and the zesty emoji. I will work on that for you guys, 100%. I was experimenting with it yesterday. I was like, oh, maybe they'll see this. I want to see how it looked on the stream today. So I guess I'll work on some new emotes for you guys. So I know Bitcoin Cash has gone up the last few days. Bitcoin is still lingering at 30.6. What happened, guys? We ran up during the stream. We were so zestified. We were like at 31K. Oh, no. Hopefully we go back there later and we hit over $1,900 Ethereum. We're at 1872 right now. We have some things going on with the price action. Nonetheless, guys, do your own research. Stop looking at the FUD. Like that clip I showed you earlier of that guy saying Bitcoin is a cult. It had like it's bad for money laundering. Of course it's bad for money laundering. The whole thing's transparent. That's why we love it so much, because there's transparency in Bitcoin and crypto, not the Federal Reserve like he was saying. I don't even know what he was saying. It was just some crazy stuff. Now, do your own research. If you are confident in Bitcoin, if you are confident in crypto, then you understand the revolution. You understand why we're here. You understand that we are part of an ecosystem where there's a controlled inflation schedule, where there's a finite supply, that we actually get to own our value. That's important. That's important. Meninja cookie emoji. We love the cookie emojis. Oscar, we're getting zesty with cookies. Absolutely. Kenny O said 4. Fake FUD. Yes. Colin McKenzie, nice to see you. Randy A says coffee and cookies for breakfast. I agree. Yeah, that guy was crazy earlier that we showed. But if you guys did not see that clip, I highly suggest you rewind the show and you go and check that out. If you guys have any last minute questions, I will take them for y'all. But guys, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate every single one of you. I don't see any last minute questions in the chat, but I appreciate every single one of you, like I said, for coming today, for being here, for being zesty individuals. If you haven't yet, make sure you smash these likes, you subscribe, you share the stream out with friends. I see, do we have like 134 likes? We need 150 likes. We need 150 likes. If you didn't say hi to me yet, say hi to me too. Alexandra G, thank you for the hearts. Chuck said Bcash is where, oh no. Yeah, you're going to start some controversy right there. You're going to start some controversy right there. I've been on here for a long time. I do have to go. I just realized how long I've been on here for. This is a crazy show, but we talked about a lot of things, a lot of good information today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, if you missed it, please rewind. Lord Michael, thank you. Dang man, how you doing? Thank you for your love. I appreciate it. One for all. Thank you for coming. Zaldi, thank you for coming. Black Sheep, thanks for coming. Wow, all you guys just like linger and then you come out at the end and you're like, hi. And I'm like, oh wow, you're watching. That's awesome. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate every single one of you. If you didn't brew up that cup of coffee, we are fueled by coffee and Bitcoin on this channel. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a lovely day. Make sure, again, you smash these likes, you subscribe, comment after this is over. Let me know your thoughts on everything. If you think maybe we could bounce and hit 32K today, give me your thoughts. Have a lovely day. A happy Taco Tuesday. And as always, stay zesty. Peace.